Welcome to QSR Nation, your weekly dose of food service marketing tips and business strategies for success. Here's your hosts, Josh Anderson, Beth Oots, and Anthony Pierce from the PFS Brands National Headquarters.
Hey everybody, welcome back to QSR Nation. As always, we have Josh, Beth, and Tony here from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri to talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success. Today, we are going to talk about social media.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Thanks.
Got it?
I love
That was terrible.
Actually,
Actually, I didn't get it at first.
And I'm glad she brought that up because we're going to talk about bad social media
There we
habits
go.
today. So starting with a very bad pun.
So what you're saying is you're welcome. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, yeah, more
Yeah.
specifically, we're going to talk about bad social media habits we have seen from just, some food service operators and things like that. For instance, should go for anybody, no matter what industry. Always make sure you're checking your spelling and grammar. Nothing that doesn't show you're not a professional in bad spelling and grammar on social media. I've done that before, too.
Mm-hmm. We've all seen it. Whew, it was a bad one. Just kidding.
So what have you guys seen before out there for some bad social media habits that everybody should be cognizant of?
Well, my favorite thing to see is a photograph of something without being mindful of what's in the background. Mm-hmm. And whether it's a customer's kid squatting down in an aisle taking a picture. Saw that this weekend. It's hilarious, but I don't remember the photo, but I remember the kid squatting down in the back. So just really being mindful. I mean, the intention can be really good, but make sure before you just push that photo up, double check it, make sure that there's nothing in there like a big heavy reflection in glass or other people in the background that really take away and distract from your post.
Awesome. Well, another thing that you need to watch out for is posting the same content over and over and over again. Just because you're having a sale does not mean that you need to post it every 20 minutes or 5 times a day. I mean, especially with Facebook, the algorithms that there are, people are going to start hiding that. And if you don't follow them, or if they don't follow you per se, you're just not going to see that post.
Yeah, your reach will go down.
Yes, you need to make sure that you're coming up with unique information that's constantly going to be out there, and just make sure that you're not posting more than 5 times a day if you are going to be one of those consistent posters.
Well, how many times should they post per week, would you all think?
Well, I know Beth and I both have schools of different thought on this.
Yeah.
I like to see someone post about 3 times a week as a maximum. I know you like to see it a lot more frequent.
I like to see at least one daily post.
And I like to be the bridge builder between you two and see about 5 posts a week.
That pretty much agrees with her, unless she's going for
7.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going for full 7? So, wow, don't edit this. Let's just have this argument out now. So, no, just kidding, folks. It just really all depends on your business, I think, and what you're doing. I mean, especially in the food service side, you do have those opportunities to put your daily specials, what's going on there, and, that's really good. Again, to me, I like 3. She likes 7. You like 5. So,
and you can also kind of curtail it to your target traffic and how engaged they are. I mean, if you're getting a ton of engagement per every post, then it's not going to hurt to keep posting. But if it's crickets every time you post, then you realize it's not really resonating with them.
You have to just figure out what is your demographic, the time that they're on social media. So, for example, with food service, obviously you're going to want to try and gear that towards mealtime. So whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, if you're not getting any traction, start doing some testing. Figure out, okay, I need to do this at 9:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. just so that we can start getting that interaction. Because if you don't have any interaction on your posts, there's no point in doing it.
And some other, bad things that we see happen is what I would have to assume, because I can't tell, but is non-scheduled posts. Realizing all of a sudden, I should get something out there, and just scrambling for something versus setting time aside. You can tell generally a difference between a post that's been well thought out and planned. So if you take the time to set aside to schedule it out and everything, that really helps, versus the reactionary one, which you usually wind up getting the bad photo, the spelling and grammar errors, it's pushed in the wrong time. Mm-hmm. And so just having those times to set aside to really plan it out. A lot of businesses aren't doing that, and so if you aren't, take the time to get a little bit ahead of the game for yourself. It'll help yourself out. And another thing that I think has been kind of a bad trend I've seen a lot of course, we all love memes, and as a business though, you have to be very careful the type of humor maybe that you're sharing. I think, personality is great to have in there. People can feel they're part of, what's going on with you. But I think, sharing, whether it's political or just maybe poor judgment, that might be something funny on your personal page. But you really got to think about that as a business standpoint that, I'm not saying you got to go out there and be PC, but with your humor, you got to remember you're touching a lot of different people in a lot of different avenues. In food service, everyone eats. So you don't want to alienate people with off-color humor.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You have to be very wary of what you're posting nowadays, even if, it's got to be very PG for sure.
Exactly. Another thing you need to watch out for is when you are doing posts, making sure that they're going to generate interaction. Don't just post a statement. You need to make sure that you're trying to create that content that's going to spark a conversation between...
Like a political meme?
Yes. That's exactly what we are trying. Make sure to go full politics 24/7.
Sprinkle a little religion in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic.
And criticism for everyone.
No, you want to make sure that you're asking questions. So, for example, if let's say for our Champs customers, it's what type of sandwich do you like the best? Is it our pulled chicken? Is it our
fish fillet?
Or a premium chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you're trying to ask questions so that we can get some type of interaction and get that organic reach out there for Facebook or even Twitter.
And as you get those reactions, you got, whether it's a positive comment or negative comment, you have got to respond.
Yep. It goes with your messages as well, your private messages.
Exactly. You've got to respond. Letting those sit there for a day or two, and then I'll get to it sometime, that just doesn't work in this world. I mean, we are in an instant gratification culture, unfortunately. And when someone has a question, you need to respond. If they have a comment, say, I love this, but I can't stand that. Say, hey, we're glad you like something, What can we do to help you out with this? But you've got to make sure you're staying engaged, because your whole point of having social media is to create consumer engagement. So don't drop the ball and walk away when you have an opportunity to actually engage with a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yep. And if you have any questions about this, you can reach out to us at qsrnation@pfsbrands.com. I about forgot our email address. We can help you with any questions you might have or point you in the right direction. Please subscribe to the podcast at pfsbrands.com/podcast. And you guys have anything else to add about social media, or bad social media tips, I should say?
I think we covered a lot.
I think so, yeah.
That was very nice. All right, guys. As always, for Josh, Beth, and Tony, we'll talk to you next week.
Stop by next week for another QSR Nation episode or visit pfsbrands.com.